Coming up to the top of the 7 o'clock hour here in Newport News, Virginia. It's the Carolina Dynamo against your Lionsbridge FC on the campus of Christopher Newport University. An overcast evening, 76 degrees. The temperature here for first kick, and we are ready for what is another beautiful night of the beautiful game here at Pomoco Stadium. I'm Rob Smith, coming to you live from facebook.com/Lionsbridge FC, along with my partner, as always, except for that one time, Patrick Garber. Patrick, happy Saturday. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks, Rob. Glad to be back.
And certainly been a celebratory week for us here at Lionsbridge FC, celebrating the 4th of July on Wednesday. We had a game on Tuesday here at home where Lionsbridge took down one of the top teams in the conference, North Carolina U23, in a 1-0 contest that ended with some fireworks, quite literally, after the game in celebration of the 4th of July. And tonight after the game, we will also have fireworks again in celebration of the 4th of July, and one of our last home games of the season. First things first, before we get into setting this one up, make sure to stay connected with the very latest from Lionsbridge FC by following the team on social media. In addition to here on Facebook and Facebook Live, be sure to follow Lionsbridge FC on Twitter and Instagram as well. Don't forget to use the hashtag #ThisIsOurBridge, and be sure to sign up for the team's email newsletter to get special offers from the club on lionsbridgefc.com/newsletter. One more time, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Lionsbridge FC. Use the hashtag #ThisIsOurBridge. All right, Patrick, we've got a game tonight against two teams that are really playing with pride here near the end of the season. This is Lionsbridge's last home game, last PDL game at home this year. They do have one more home game after this one, but it's a friendly, and we'll talk about that one a little bit later in the contest. But what are you looking for tonight in the contest? You've got some new men in the lineup here for head coach Wally, some new faces to the lineup for the Dynamo this evening. What are you looking for tonight with some of these new faces and fresh legs?
These new guys, it's just whoever can take their opportunities here tonight. They've been given the opportunity. I mean, why not go out there, score your first goal, maybe get an assist, just have fun.
Opportunity seems to be the name of the game tonight, as both sides have an opportunity here to pick up 3 more points. If the Bridge can pick up 3, they'd almost certainly solidify their spot as the 3rd team in the South Atlantic Division. And in their first year in the Premier Development League, top half of your division certainly sounds like something to write home about, alongside always fantastic crowds as they have continued to grow here at Pomoco as the season has continued. 2,300 people at the home game on Tuesday. Tonight, another night where there's a day off tomorrow on Sunday for many of these people, so a lot of the fans filling into Pomoco as is. How big is it for this home team in Lionsbridge FC to get this home support every night?
It is huge when you're playing out there on the fields. When I used to play back in my high school days, we had this big rivalry against York, and that game, literally everybody came out from each high school, and the atmosphere was just incredible. You wanted to play, you did not want to come off, and you scored, you're a hero of that game. So I can't imagine it being any different.
And certainly that seems to be the case for this Lionsbridge squad, regardless of who the opponent is. If you score, you're probably going to be a hero. Speaking of a couple of heroes, Jalon Brown was the hero, and alongside Ivan Militar on the July 3rd game, as Jalon Brown pulled a big penalty near the end of the first half. Militar took the PK and sunk it, and that's where we got that 1-0 final. We'll get into starting lineups in a bit, but that seemed to be the big key to that game, was that momentum switch right around the half, as North Carolina FC U23 had most of the momentum going into the half, The Bridge scored one, and really kind of it was a bend don't break mentality throughout the contest, where they just kind of took their blows defensively and held strong the entire game. That's how the Bridge got here. Now, Patrick, how did the Dynamo do in their last contest?
You see, the Dynamo ended up playing, I believe it was away at Tobacco Road, and they went up 1-0 early. Tobacco Road pecked them back, got 2 goals, and then Copeland, who is not in the team tonight, we don't know why, but he ended up scoring in the 90th minute, so Carolina Dynamo picked up their 6th point on the season.
Carolina Dynamo with 1 win and 3 ties on the year for 6 points total. And the Dynamo looking to pick up some more crucial points near the end of the season with a 1-7-3 record. Certainly not the way they wanted their season to go, but they have an opportunity to pick up their 2nd win tonight as they picked up their 1st win of the season against this Lionsbridge team. Do you think that is going to impact the way tonight's game is played?
If you're Lionsbridge, you definitely don't want to lose again here. It was an unfortunate result. Like we said, it was early in the season. Many of these guys didn't necessarily play well with each other, but now this team is clicking. You saw it this past Tuesday against the North Carolina FC U23 team. And these guys will literally fight for each other, and it's nice to see.
And there really hasn't been a whole lot of turnover on this team, not a lot of attrition for Lionsbridge, and so the team has remained relatively consistent throughout the year. We talked about flipping sides to the other side to the Dynamo, about how they got their scoring from players who aren't playing tonight. So how is that going to come into a factor tonight as we get into our keys to tonight's game, Patrick?
So basically for this Carolina Dynamo team, it's basically where the goal is going to come from. Who's going to step up for this team? Who is going to wear that shirt with pride and score a goal here tonight? It could be a crucial goal moving forward.
As for Lionsbridge, what's your key for them this evening?
And basically for Lionsbridge, coming off of that win, that huge win in front of the record-setting crowd on Tuesday, can they keep this momentum going? They had a nice momentum shift from defense to offense, and they ended up scoring that goal. Hopefully they can keep it going here tonight.
So we'll have starting lineups, weather report, as well as a couple of other things as we close out our pregame report. We'll take a step away for the national anthem. You're watching Lionsbridge FC Soccer on Facebook Live. Welcome back to Facebook Live, Lionsbridge SC, facebook.com/Lionsbridge FC on Facebook Live. We appreciate you tuning in, and be sure to use the hashtag ThisIsOurBridge tonight. And as we get into our starting lineups, we want to remind you that Riverside Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Lionsbridge FC. Riverside Sports Medicine offers comprehensive medical services, including primary care, sports medicine, orthopedic surgery, sports physical therapy, and athletic training. As the Peninsula's premier sports medicine provider, Doctors J.R. Barley, Scott Kling, and the entire sports medicine team focus on helping you stay active and keep you in the game. Starting lineups now, brought to you by the men of the people, I guess, of Riverside Medical. Starting with the visiting Dynamo of Carolina in goal with 24 saves on the year, Holden Trent. Moving forward behind him, it'll be Sam Orisatoki, Cole Watkins, Brady Gunter, and Tater Renback, R-E-N-N-B-A-C-K. Tater's a sweet name. Moving forward, Hunter Del Valle, Ibrahim Zatawi, N.G. Cooper, and Marcel Fahrenholz. And then in the front line, the two in front on the 4-4-2 tonight, Alex Hernandez and Faisal Almubasalt. That's going to be the group for Carolina, and not a lot of numbers statistically for them. Just go ahead and pick one out of a hat, Patrick. Who's going to be your game changer tonight?
Maybe let's go with Ibrahim Zatawi. Number 14. Let's see if we can find him here. It looks to be a center mid.
So Zatawi seems to be the man I'm going to circle tonight, and I think it might be Alex Hernandez in the front. That's who I expect it to be for the Dynamo, and we'll see how those predictions go, as this one's just about time to get underway, but not before we give you the starting lineups for your pride of Lionsbridge FC. We'll start in goal. It's the good old Joe Rice. Joe Rice with 50 saves on the year, coming off of the cleanest of sheets against NCFC U23. In front of him, it'll be Gunderson, Devitt, Fitch, and Graham. In the midfield, MacCartney. Kollmannthaler gets the nod tonight alongside Ellis and Burton, and Brown and Militar will be our forwards in the 4-4-2. So it looks to me that Carolina Dynamo, the men of red and white, will get the ball first. They'll go from right to left without shadows tonight, as it's been an overcast afternoon going into the evening. And the men in blue, the boys in blue, will go from left to right here, as opposed to the right of left for the Dynamo. The official gives the whistle, and away we go. So, Patrick, who do you expect to make the difference tonight for the homeboys, as there is no Fortia Moons in the lineup, no Max Pelker in the lineup? Who do you think it is going to be that controls the midfield tonight, as Moots has done most of the season?
It's got to be the house cat, Felix Kollmannthaler. He's getting a nod here tonight in for Tia Moons. Playing in that more advanced role as Marshal MacCartney is the CDM here tonight. So hopefully he can feed the balls forward, try and find Jalen Brown and Ivan Militar, and maybe even James Ellis out on the wing.
Tonight's weather report brought to you by the weather app on my iPhone. 73 degrees at kickoff, which has been, I think, the coolest temperature we've had all season. Going to drop down to 71 as the game continues. Overcast skies, no chance of rain, it doesn't seem, with a sunset of 8:27. But because of the overcast skies, there doesn't seem to be an issue of the sun getting anyone's eyes. A lot of shade already there on the field, so the lights are on in Pomoco Stadium. As for the wind, it's been a little bit breezy, to say the least. 18 miles an hour on those wind speeds, and so that may play a role in tonight's game, as Brennen Burton boots that out of play, and so the Bridge will continue to build their possession. And now an opportunity on the far side. James Ellis is going to give it up to, not sure who that is.
That was Austin Graham.
On the far side, of course. That's why I didn't know who it was, because I haven't seen Austin Graham on the field in a while. Austin Graham back into the lineup tonight.
Glad to see him back.
He's been certainly one of those players who makes a difference when he plays. Back to the other side, and so far through the first 2.5, the Bridge have maintained possession. Certainly a good thing for the home team, as I wouldn't necessarily possession was a struggle for them against North Carolina, but they certainly gave up more opportunities defensively than they would have liked to have, they would have liked to see.
Yeah, and that's mainly because North Carolina FC, they were a solid team, a bunch of good players, and they really, honestly, they had most of the possession throughout the whole game. You could see it. Lionsbridge did sit back in the second half after they got that goal, absorb pressure, and try not to crack.
Ball up in the air, it trickles through the 6 and ultimately picked up by Holden Trent. Well, James Ellis now back on the attack. Ellis now sees the house cat, Felix Kollmannthaler in the middle, and Kollmannthaler is going to give it up before it gets swiped back into play. Send him from Gunderson to Kollmannthaler to no avail. Lionsbridge FC proudly welcomes the team members from Chick-fil-A in attendance tonight, as Chick-fil-A has been a huge supporter of this Lionsbridge FC team. As well as tonight's ball boys or ball kids and youth soccer organization of the night is Suffolk FC. And foul there called on Austin Graham, I believe, on the near side. No, they're going to call it on the offender. And so Joe Rice will have the opportunity for a goal kick here after all of that. Kind of a botched kick from Joe Rice, and he's going to have to get bailed out from his defender, and that ball ends up with James Lee near midfield. He'll give it to Kollmannthaler. Forward ultimately bounces off Zawadi and Zatawi back to the men of the Dynamo. And then poached out of bounds by Almubaslat. I'm going to get that right.
That's a hard name.
Faisal Almubaslat. Throw in here for number 11, Orisatoki. There goes Jalen Brown, and Brown gives it up to Brennan Burton, and now here comes the counterattack. Right behind him is Orisatoki, and he'll take it away. And a long throw in right around the corners. Still a dangerous opportunity. Might as well be a throw, or might as well be a corner kick here for Brennan Burton.
Great counterattack there for Lionsbridge. Jalen Brown held it up nice. Brennan Burton with a great first touch in behind, but the pace let him down there as Orisatoki got back and kicks the ball out for a throw-in.
Marshal MacCartney will throw this one in deep in the corner. It looks short. That ball from Militar. Militar is the much larger opponent there. Goes off the head of Brown, and great save by Holden Trent. Just throws a big paw up there, and he gets bailed out by his defender, Tater Renbeck, as he throws it out of play.
Yeah, great movement there for Ivan Militar to play it into the box. Jalen Brown just attacks that ball. And the goalkeeper for Carolina, Trent Holden, big save there. Keep this tied at 0.
Short. Ball sent in by James Lee, and then James Ellis. And now the other way come the Dynamo. Almubaslat loses it, and it goes in the Bridge's direction, quickly to be thrown in by number 21, Marshal MacCartney. Number 11, Brennan Burton. goes Kollmannthaler back to Gunderson to Fitch. Devitt to Fitch. Back to Militar, back to Fitch. And they'll just kind of bring it all the way back. Gives Joe Rice a quick touch.
Try and calm him down after that missed kick earlier.
His composure back under him, certainly. Joe Rice has had his good games. Joe Rice has had his tough games. But overall, Joe Rice has played well for this Lionsbridge team. Joe Rice, a VCU Ram, going back to Richmond for another year as this summer season concludes. Good save there by Burton, but it's going to ultimately, no, it's going to go off of number 16, Kollmannthaler. Ball back to Holden Trent. Trent with 25 saves on the season. There goes Brennan Burton, and handball called on Burton, and he's not happy about it.
Yeah, that's just unlucky there for Burton. He tried to control it with his chest. When that happens, your hands are usually up. Ball just bounced off of his hands and ultimately results in a free kick for this Dynamo team.
Nine minutes into this one, and the Bridge have had a couple of good opportunities. That ball off Graham and out of play. And they'll give it right back to Graham. Fans getting into this one as they continue to fill up the stadium. Pretty good sized crowd tonight. Saturday evening that promises offense and fireworks, both on the field and off.
Hopefully we'll see some fireworks on the field tonight.
I believe Lionsbridge is 1-0-2 on firework nights, or 1-2-0. Not sure if they tie. I know they lost once. There's definitely a 1-1. I think they've played 3. I think this is the 4th fireworks night of the year. Most importantly, though, they won the last time they played and had fireworks post-game.
Hey, that was one of their biggest wins this season. Opponent-wise, not goal-wise.
I think one of their biggest wins this season, I think the biggest win of the year, was the first win of the year at home against
Evergreen
FC. A 5-1, I believe it was. 5-1 final. And that really set the tone for the season here at Pomoco, as, you know, coming into your first year in an area. No one's really sure what you're going to do. No one's sure if you're going to be good, if your team has any promise at all. But to come in, first home game in program history and franchise history, to put up a performance like that has, along with obviously a couple of big road wins and great marketing by the staff here, has really gotten this community excited about soccer, because, you know, obviously there's not a whole lot of like expectation coming into the year, you know, first year team, but this team has definitely created a product people love to come out and see.
Yeah, and I'm one of them. Like, my whole family loves these games. It's a great atmosphere. I love watching it up here. I love commentating with you, Rob. It's just a fun night.
The fans continue to move from the Tradition Brewing area, the pre-game festival area, back into the bleachers at Pomoco. Tonight's food vendors were all Koki, Prost, O'Doodle-Doo's Donuts, and Kona Ice. And Lionsbridge FC is proud to serve craft beer from our friends at Tradition Brewing Company, including the Lionsbridge Lager, as well as other fine selections. And if you're interested in joining in on the fun, head to lionsbridgefc.com/tickets to secure your tickets to our next and final home game on Sunday, July 15th against DC United U23 right here at Pomoco Stadium. Pre-game starts at 5. Game starts at 7. Advance tickets can be purchased at Whole Foods Market on Jefferson Avenue or on lionsbridgefc.com/tickets.
Now, what a great way to end that World Cup night. You got the final early in the day, and you just come out here, watch a solid soccer team play against the DC United under-23s.
Another good, solid soccer team.
Yep, it's gonna be fun.
Here comes the attack for the Bridge, and a little bit of a shove there on Mr. Brown, and as Brown goes down, the official calls the foul. Lionsbridge FC rocking the all blues tonight. Sponsored by Nike, the official apparel provider and proud partner of Lionsbridge FC. Another one of those red, white, and blue games this evening. So Jalon Brown earns the free kick. Ivan Militar will take it. Everybody lines up there on the 18. The crowd gets rowdy. Waiting for the official whistle. Ball is chipped up and out of play, and I believe the official in the middle will call a foul, earning a goal kick for Holden Trent. Another opportunity here. Just a tough pass, and they'll get it in, and now they're going to call James Ellis offsides.
Unlucky there. As Marshal MacCartney, his first option was Burton, but he was not paying attention, hit off his heel, hit a reverse pass to James Ellis, and James Ellis just went a little too early. And now Carolina Dynamo will pick up the free kick as James Ellis is still down injured.
Around the midfield is Mr. Gunderson, and Gunderson will give it up to Burton before this team continues to hold possession. Ball up in the air, a chance for Burton to get his foot on it, couldn't quite do it, and now that ball is chipped up and over to the beer tent behind the field of play.
At least everyone in the beer tent was paying attention and didn't hit anyone back there.
If Lionsbridge scores on a header tonight, everyone in the stadium goes home with a free Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich. That's right, if one of your favorite Lionsbridge FC players puts the ball in and uses his head, you go home with a coupon for a free Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich. And more often than not, as the game continues, you'll hear that Lions Den start to chant, "We want chicken," which I find hilarious.
I mean, they almost got their wish earlier in the match with Jalon Brown. Had an open header, but a great save by Trent Holden kept that shot out and kept us at zeros on the board.
Elsewhere in the PDL, specifically in the South Atlantic Division, Charlotte Eagles in action tonight. Charlotte, the defending national champions, struggling this year, sitting at 4th in the South Atlantic Division. And really for Lionsbridge, is they're just a bit out of the contention for first in the division. looking for a top 50%, and they're looking to build their play here. Good possession. There goes Jalon Brown, and Brown loses that one. But Charlotte is in action against South Carolina tonight, and currently early in that game, about 20 minutes in, South Carolina's got a 2-0 lead. Two shots on target, 2 goals for SC Bantams. So a win tonight for Lionsbridge and a loss for the Carolina Dynamo would secure the Lionsbridge FC spot in the top half of the South Atlantic Division in their first campaign, which is certainly something to be proud about. Now coming the opposite direction, really for the first time today, Joe Rice may have an opportunity to be tested as here comes the first corner kick of the evening. Lionsbridge has had one, they just played it short. Ball played up. The set piece is off the head, and Rice pokes it over the bar. First save of the day for Joe Rice, and there'll be another corner kick from the other side. You'll watch it one more time. And number 20, that is Brady Gunter, got his head on it. And Joe Rice just pokes it over the bar, and we'll do it one more time. This time from the near side, it'll be Almubaslat. Almubaslat puts it up, and it's into the hands of Rice. It gets dropped and then just quickly poked out of play by Brady Gunter. So Gunter got his hands, shoulders, knees, and toes all up in both of those corner kicks, just couldn't quite finish. And the opportunity is gone for now. And the Bridge defense can breathe. And Joe Rice going down, taking his gloves off. He's got a, I don't know if he's fixing his glove or if he's nursing an injury. And here comes one of our athletic training members from the Riverside Sports Medicine team. Riverside Sports Medicine and their team, including Doctors J.R. Barley and Scott Kling, keep Lionsbridge players healthy and on the field. Riverside Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Lionsbridge FC's choice for everything sports medicine.
I think Joe Rice might have just jammed his finger on one of the 2 saves from those last 2 corners.
And it looks like Austin Graham and Jamie Gunderson having a little bit of a conversation. Gunderson, an assistant coach here for Newport News, kind of leading his teammates out there defensively, trying to keep those defensive lapses to a minimum, as there more or less was one there on that, and Rice kind of bailed his team out with an excellent save. And yeah, I think that might be where the injury happened.
Yeah,
when he poked that ball up and over the net.
Fantastic reaction save, as he did poke it up over the net, and I think it seems like he just jammed his finger. So hopefully he'll carry on. It looks like he will. Hopefully he'll be okay. He keeps making incredible saves like he just did.
And we're back in action. So Rice picks up 1 save so far tonight. Guess I would count 2 there on the last opportunity. The 22nd minute of action here on the near side. I believe that's number 11, or Satoki asking for it, and they're not going to switch it to him. Instead, they're going to try to penetrate the zone on the far side. There, Austin Graham is met alongside number 4, Almubasat. Ball out of play, and so Almubasat will have another opportunity. Fans more or less have been into it so far. Thankful for Joe Rice, as Joe Rice is going to have to kind of dunk that one over the crossbar to keep it coming on the right side for him instead of into the zone. And another save there for Joe Rice. He just kind of had to poke it gingerly over the net, as he wasn't going to catch it without it going across the line. And so a corner kick from the far side for the Dynamo. Ball up in the air. Rice tracks it and goes over the much shorter Almubasat. The play can't be made, and Joe Rice keeps this one a clean sheet. That's his 3rd save of the day. Kollmannthaler on a quick run. Foul called on the house cat. And so they'll give it back to Orisataki. Good defense there on the far side by Ivan Militar out of Hungary. Militar, an ODU player, going back for the Monarchs in the fall. There on the far side, Hunter Del Valle. Del Valle's first time we've said his name today outside starting lineups. Not a lot of action for the Dynamo. They're just really, Patrick, it looks like they're just trying to maintain a little bit of control.
Yeah, these guys have tested Joe Rice a couple of times early on, and outside of that, they've just been trying to hold on possession, try and move this Lionsbridge team from right to left here.
They spread the field out. Great tackle by Burton. He's not going to get it back, though, as quick jump up from Mr. Hernandez gets the ball back for the Dynamo, and that ball spurted up. Gunderson will go on a run and won't have to do much for it, as it's finally out of play. Ball thrown in. There, Burton kind of in a hole. He's 1-on-4 and he loses it. Great control there. And it's quickly given up to James Ellis. Now James Ellis, alone in the midfield, can give it back to Simon Fitch. Now to the far side, that's number 17, Austin Graham, through the midfield. Graham will just poke it out of play and give it right back. But we're working our way in the right direction if you're a fan of the home team. Kollmannthaler now pressuring, and Jalen Brown will continue to do much of the same. And that ball ends up back with Holden Trent. Trent's going to try to punt it forward, and he does a pretty good job at that. Thankfully, Devitt can slow the advance down for a moment. Now that ball sent into the box. Joe Rice is going to catch that one as if he was a cornerback looking for an interception. Now the Bridge will get it back. Back four for the Bridge have really created a U of sorts. As we've got the deep two, Simon Fitch and Tom Devitt, and around midfield you see Graham and Gunderson. Now they'll drop back even. We've got 5 in the midfield, 3 back line. Taken away by Devitt. And Devitt has it back. Not sure what that static noise is in the background, but been pretty consistent throughout the afternoon. So I guess we're just dealing with it today. Not sure what's up with the sound system here at Pomoco, but we will continue. Now an opportunity for the bridge. There goes Jalon Brown. Brown and Militar there. Brown shoots and just misses.
Unlucky there for Jalon Brown. Got played in behind, stopped the ball, controlled it, beat his defender once, decided to go for goal, and just barely wide.
Goal kick coming, and as it does, want to remind you that Embrace Home Loans is here. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance an existing mortgage, or consolidate interest debt, look no further than Embrace. Embrace Home Loans is proud to support Lionsbridge FC. Tom Devitt there now. Slow and steady seems to be the name of the game. Slow and steady wins the race.
Lionsbridge here just looking for an opportunity to break down this compact Carolina team.
They really are. It seems to be like defensively the Dynamo are just kind of clumping together and taking away the midfield, which is where this FC team wants to go. And then offensively, they spread it right back out. And that kind of compact defense to spread out offense may create an opportunity on the counterattack, but for now, this is the chance for the bridge to defend, and a shot on and in. And the Dynamo score first. Number 10, Marshal Fahrenholz gives the visitors the lead.
Great work in there behind for Alex Hernandez. Number 5 plays it across. Joe Rice got a hand on it. It comes out to number 10, Marshal Fahrenholz. And from there, you're not going to miss. He puts Carolina Dynamo up 1-0 here on 30 minutes.
30 minutes into the game, and the Dynamo now behind in this one. Tough goal is Rice made the initial stop, but the juicy rebound was there for Fahrenholz, and he cleaned it up. Call him the custodian for now. That's what you'd call a garbage goal. Not in the sense that the goal was garbage, but there was a piece to clean up, and he did just that. So Fahrenholz gives his team a 1-0 lead. And for the first time in a while here at home, the Lionsbridge team is trailing. First goal allowed since playing North Carolina U23 2 home games ago, and that was the end of June. We're talking about goals at home here. After splitting a road trip, winning one, losing one. 33rd minute of action. 1/3 of the way through the contest. And the Lions Den trying to get the crowd going here for the running of the flags. Seems to get some of the fans into it, not quite all, as some fans just disappointed in the recent turn of events, but still remaining hopeful that the Bridge can put some points on the board. And Patrick, this Carolina Dynamo team, while they've struggled against the rest of the division, has not against this Lionsbridge team.
Yeah, and you saw it in the first match. When Lionsbridge had to travel down there to Carolina, they ended up losing 2-1. So that gave Carolina their first points of the season. The only win of the season so far is Jalon Brown's taken down there by number 7, Hunter Del Valle.
And it might just be a matchup thing, but head coach Chris Wally has got some shifts he might have to make if this one's still where we sit now at the break. Still 12 or so minutes till we get there. Militar, the enforcer, with the kick. That ball up in the air, bounces around and falls to, not sure who that was. Falls to number 11, Burton, I believe, and then ultimately booted out of play by James Ellis.
Well, if this game stays like this at a 1-0 scoreline to the visitors, Chris Wally might have to pull off some of the big guns off the bench. We got the Haitian sensation in Cleef Desir back there. Fortia Moons, the creative player out of Spain. Maybe one of these guys can unlock the defense here against Carolina.
Been a lot of possession, not a lot of goal kicks here in this one, at least comparatively to what we've seen in the past. Joe Rice will put that one just shy of midfield. And James Ellis there with it. Ellis gets dragged down, but Militar finds it. And then Militar gives it away. Good slide tackle from the enforcer, and it rolls to the Irwin Belk track, back towards Captain's Field, the home of Christopher Newport University's soccer program, some of the best in Division III. Tom Devitt pushes past the midline to Jamie Gunderson, and Gunderson wanted to see the house cat but couldn't find Kollmannthaler, and now a good forward pass to Jalon Brown. Brown gets swamped by a trio of Dynamo, and now coming the other way is NG Cooper. Just trying to hold on to possession now, as it seems to be a game of keep away for Carolina at the moment, trying to go into the half with a 1-0 lead. Still have 9 minutes to get there. Free kick. And good little weave there from Hernandez. Hernandez, the man who had the assist earlier. Ball up in the air and into the gloves of Joe Rice. Rice with a long throw to Ellis. Financial Security is the proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. Financial Security was founded in 1992 and is one of the oldest independent financial planning firms in the Hampton Roads area. Call 757-643-6200 to meet with Kevin Joyce, located in City Center, Newport News, to protect, save, and grow your financial plan. That's Kevin Joyce at 757-643-6200. Financial Services, a proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. On the far side, Faisal Al-Mubasat gives it up to the bridge, and lately it just seems like Lionsbridge has struggled to hold on to possession here, Patrick.
Yeah, they can't really find it. They need someone on the ball that can just dictate the midfield, find Jalon Brown's runs in behind, and unfortunately they haven't had that creative spark in the midfield.
Orsataki can't hold on to it. Gunderson looks a little bit frustrated, and I'm not sure why. It might be the goal, it might be the score. I'm not necessarily sure what it is, but his body movements indicate that he's frustrated about something. Kollmannthaler with a tough touch, goes down. He's not going to get the call, and so he'll slowly get up from his knees, to which he was knocked. Brennen Burton giving it up. A lot of turnovers here on the first half for both sides, really, Patrick. I wouldn't say clean soccer. Here goes James Ellis. Ellis is being dragged down. They want the foul. Ellis is going to do it himself. He calls his own number, and it goes off the crossbar and out of play.
Great weaving run there by James Ellis. He shrugs off the Carolina Dynamo midfielder, dances around the center back, has a shot right over number 26, Trent Holden. And it looks like Trent Holden might have got a touch on it as he touched it onto the crossbar. But Lionsbridge will have this corner kick as Ivan Militar is setting it up to take.
So Militar comes to take it. And it was a save. That ball up by Militar off the head of Jalon Brown, and it rockets into the beer tent behind the south end zone. And Brown really got a piece of that one. Just couldn't finish it, and the opportunity is gone for now.
Great run there by Jalon Brown. He went near post. Ivan Militar saw the run. Jalon Brown probably could have flicked it on near the back post, see if there was someone back there, but decided to go for power. And
I like the call. It just wasn't aimed right.
Unless he was aiming for someone in the beer tent.
Maybe. Hey fans, you could win an official Lionsbridge FC backpack just like the players use, courtesy of All Pro Tactical. Go to lionsbridgefc.com/all-pro for your chance to win. Another opportunity pushed away by Joe Rice. That's All Pro Tactical. All Pro bags, All Pro performance, All Pro Tactical. Hey kids, be sure to pick up your Mosquito Joe sponsored Lionsbridge FC team's poster at the beginning of our next and final home game, to be signed to the post-game autograph session sponsored by Mosquito Joe, a proud partner of Lionsbridge FC. I think even if they don't score, Patrick, before the half, I think that to get this team, this crowd energized at the very least, they need to generate at least one more solid opportunity going into the break.
Yeah, we've seen Jalon Brown come up with a couple opportunities. James Ellis ended up rattling the crossbar. unfortunately, for the Bridge. But this crowd is definitely still here. They want to see some goals.
That time a foul on number 21, Marshal MacCartney. Update from the Charlotte, South Carolina game. Charlotte down in that one around halftime to South Carolina by a score of 3-1. Charlotte, the only team who could realistically catch Lionsbridge for third in the South Atlantic. Free kick coming from Orsataki. Ball gets headed back, and there goes Kollmannthaler. It's Kollmannthaler and Brown, joined by Militar, and the ball from Kollmannthaler doesn't get through the midfield and can't find Brown, and he's certainly upset about that one. Kind of jumped and threw his hands up. I think he was mad at himself as he saw a free and easy Brown and an opportunity on net. 44th minute, Joe Rice pushes it up. And the first touch from Jalon Brown settles it. He'll look for Lee. He'll find Lee. Lee has an opportunity to shoot. He'll give it up instead to Burton. Burton's not there, and hustling is Gunderson. Gunderson shoots not there. And then it goes off. Then another Jalon Brown opportunity, and Brennan Burton had a chance at it. And Burton ends up finally pushing it out of play.
Great hold-up play there by Jalon Brown. He waited for James Ellis to get in behind. James Ellis with the ball across the box, couldn't find anyone initially, as the right back Jamie Gunderson wound up shooting the ball, and honestly it was a great strike from the right back. Great save by Trent Holden. Pushed it to Brennan Burton. Brennan Burton, it just looked like he wasn't ready.
I think the ball ended up on the feet of Burton, and Militar seemed to be there. He seemed to be just close enough to dive in and get the play on, but kind of for a layup, but unfortunately, he might have been just 2 steps off. That foul on Kollmannthaler.
This crowd is not happy about that. It looked like a 50-50 challenge, fair challenge, as number 10, Marcel Fahrenholz. Yep. The goal scorer just went down. This crowd thinks he went down too easily.
Gunderson gets a little bit physical there, and that ball taken away by the House Cat. Bridge has certainly had their chances, just haven't been able to put one away, and now here comes a chance for the Dynamo. Ball pinballs around, and I'm not sure what the call was. A foul again on Kollmannthaler, and they're going to have to calm Kollmannthaler down, because I don't think they're happy with the way that this one is being called, and I'm not necessarily sure I agree with it either, but to be fair, I didn't necessarily get a good look at it.
From my point, it looked like Kollmannthaler ended up clipping the heels of Fahrenholz before he ended up shooting the ball. That's the only thing I could think of as to why the referee would have blown the whistle at that opportunity. But this crowd, not happy with the referee and his final.
Certainly not, and specifically Kollmannthaler seems to be the victim at the moment. Every little touchy thing the man does is called, and here comes Mubaslat with the free kick. The wall about 15 in. That save from Joe Rice. Ball goes around the wall, and Joe Rice was right there to make the stop.
Great save there by Joe Rice. As you said, Mubaslat ended up just bending it right around the goal. Solid effort as we go into halftime. Carolina Dynamo up 1-0.
So that'll be the break, and it came on a 30th minute goal. A good little piece of possession from the Dynamo. Alex Hernandez had the initial, what looked like a shot, ended up, I would count it as a pass because it got all the way through. I think Rice got his hand on it, so you might want to call it a shot. Either way, Marcel Fahrenholz was right there to clean up the juicy rebound, and that's where we are, 1-0 in the contest. What's got to change, Patrick, for both sides to both keep things where they are if you're the Dynamo, and to make the efforts to move forward if you're the home team?
Yeah, well, if we're gonna start with the away team, if you're the Dynamo, you just gotta keep playing like you have been all game. They frustrated Lionsbridge heavily throughout this whole match, and you could see it near the end of that first half, as a couple fouls weren't necessarily given the way of Lionsbridge. The fans weren't happy, the players weren't happy, but they gotta keep that under control. And then for Lionsbridge, maybe we see a couple changes. Maybe we see the Haitian sensation go up top. Maybe we see Fortia Moons come in, try and dictate the midfield.
Those substitutes coming to you from One Life Fitness. When they do, One Life Fitness has 8 Hampton Roads locations, with the 9th coming soon to Tech Center in Newport News. One Life Fitness is the official health club partner of Lionsbridge FC. And Patrick, coming in to the second half, certainly against a team that has struggled this year against pretty much everybody except us, and us being Lionsbridge FC. What do you think it's been that this Dynamo team has really had our number all year? Their number.
Basically, from what I've seen so far from this game and some of the game against them in the away leg of this two ties, I guess you would say. But really, it's just been Carolina Dynamo frustrating Lionsbridge, being solid defensively. I don't know why they haven't been solid defensively all year, but it seems Lionsbridge has no answer for this physicality in defense.
And Chris Wally certainly has some changes to make here for his squad coming out of the half, and we expect quality in the second half. Tonight's game, speaking of which, brought to you by Quality Productions. Quality Productions tells your message with epic cinematography and stunning visuals. Check out their work for commercial clients at Quality, that's Quality with a K, KWOLITY Productions.com. Today's game also brought to you by O'Doodle Doos Donuts, one of the fan favorites as far as food trucks are concerned. They don't have a truck, but they bring their donuts to every home game. You can catch them one more time next Sunday against DC United U23. Funky, fresh, and local O'Doodle Doos Donuts. From Naples to your neighborhood, Vinny's Pizza and Pasta is a proud supporter of Lionsbridge FC. Come visit any of their 3 Peninsula locations at Oyster Point, J. Clyde, Morris Boulevard, or Highway 17 in Yorktown. Buy your Lionsbridge SC tickets online using promo code VINNY and get a free appetizer at Vinny's Pizza and Pasta. As we go into our halftime break, I want to draw your attention to the halftime the Chick-fil-A shootout, Chick-fil-A PKs here at halftime, and wanted to remind you that there are limited edition Chick-fil-A Lionsbridge t-shirts available at your favorite local Chick-fil-A location on the peninsula. Don't forget to stop by your local CFA in Hampton, Newport News, Yorktown for breakfast, and remember to eat more chicken. Chick-fil-A is the official uniform sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. So as you watch that Chick-fil-A shootout, we'll step away and we'll enjoy a little bit of our dinner brought to you by Vinny's in the press box, and we'll be right back for the second half of action in about 6 minutes. 1-0 is the score in favor of the men of Carolina. The Carolina Dynamo take a 1-0 lead into the half. We appreciate you tuning in. You're watching Lionsbridge FC Soccer on Facebook Live. Fans to celebrate the inaugural season, Tradition Brewing Company has released Lionsbridge Lager. Tradition Brewing Company and Lionsbridge FC remind you to drink responsibly and to always choose a designated driver. Lionsbridge FC would like to thank all of its sponsors here in its inaugural campaign, as they would not be able to do anything here as a program or organization without the support of their partners, starting with their major partners, Chick-fil-A, Nike, Riverside Medical Group, and Tradition Brewing Company. Those are the big ones, and the biggest supporters of Lionsbridge FC end up with these little tents by the field that you see during the game. In addition to those four, also got Mosquito Joe, Whole Foods Market, All Pro Tactical, Embrace Home Loans, Kona Ice, O'Doodle Doos Donuts, Off Leash Canine Training, Parkway Print Shop, Spacewalk, established 1959, Vinny's Pizza and Pasta, Animal Medical Care Center, Clancy and Thay's Construction Company, Daily Press, Frogskin, Quality Productions, One Life Fitness, Sarah Harris Photography, Buffalo Wild Wings, our community partners, Christopher Newport University, the Mariners Museum and Park. Tonight's team of the game, Suffolk FC. We also are partnering here with Premier Sports, Newport News, Virginia's Park Recreation and Tourism, as well as we said, Chick-fil-A, Riverside, and Nike. So welcome back. Second half of action here. Lionsbridge down 1-0, and looking at the list of reserves that we have here, Patrick, for Lionsbridge, who's the one you think tonight to make the difference that head coach Chris Wally might go to first?
I think it has to be the young Spaniard in Fortia Moons. He's been solid all year. I said it in the pregame show. They miss his creative spark in midfield, and that's really unfortunate here tonight as they're playing the Carolina Dynamo, who's not necessarily up there, but Carolina Dynamo has performed here tonight so far.
So far, they absolutely have. Carolina has only scored 15 goals on the season. As for Lionsbridge, they put 22 on the board this year. And I think the bigger number, the most staggering number, is the plus-minus for Carolina. They're at a -20, where Lionsbridge FC is a +2, I believe, on their goal differential. So Lionsbridge theoretically should be, statistically rather, is the better team, but Carolina has been historically the better team between the two, and I use the word historically loosely, as they've only ever played one full 90-minute game and 3 total halves of soccer. But with that in mind, Carolina has walked away from each of those halves with the lead. So Carolina, between these two teams, take away the record, take away the goal differential, take away the numbers, Carolina Dynamo is the better team between the two.
We will see one change here for Chris Wally's men of Lionsbridge, as assistant coach Tennant McVea makes his debut for this club. He comes in for the house cat, Felix Kollmannthaler, and he pushes Simon Fitch back up into his normal CDM role, as McVea will pick up the center back role for this second half now.
So Tennant McVea making his first appearance of the year, number 12 for the Bridge, and the boys in blue will flip sides. They'll go right to left on your screen. And away we go in the second half. Defense seems to be the name of the game here for the Dynamos. They've dropped back a little bit. James Ellis now. Ellis looking for Brown, but Holden Trent finds it. Ball headed. And now back, and so one sub down for Wally, and going after it is Graham. Graham will have to cut up. Graham being stopped, and any foul inside the box is a PK, so fouls are a little harder to come by down there, and so because of that, Austin Graham will end up winning a throw for his team as the ball was cleared. So number 21, Marshal MacCartney, will go and take it. Throw from MacCartney goes off the head, then back, and saved by Holden Trent. And a corner kick on the near side. And they're going to take it relatively quickly, it seems. There goes Militar. Militar puts that one up in the air. Going to get it in the back of the net, and they score! Number 12? I believe that's number 12, Tennant McVea. Gives the Bridge an equalizer, and what do you know? It's the reserves.
Hey, we needed a spark off the bench. Tennant McVea provided it on a great corner from Ivan Militar. He just went up, attacked that ball, and he's got this Lionsbridge crowd.
He is
on
happy
their
about
feet.
that. So in the 46th minute, Militar picks up his 6th assist of the year, and who else but Tennant McVea, the fresh legs, coming into this contest, providing the spark quickly, making an impact. Attaboy, Mr. McVea.
He is feeling himself tonight already.
I don't blame him. Coming in already, and it's the beginning of the second half. You know you need an equalizer, and
I'm pretty sure he was the guy who won the corner for him too. He won the header on the the throw-in from Marshal MacCartney, and then he just went up and attacked the corner, scored the goal.
So as the Bridge go and try to score again here, I want to give a special shout out to the leader of our Lions Den, Carl Hansen, unable to make it tonight. I was told by the boys down there to give Carl a shout out, that not only does this team appreciate the work from Mr. Hansen, but this Lions Den certainly appreciates their leader, and they wanted to give him a shout out tonight. While he cannot make it, I'm sure he is watching online, and so we wanted to make sure you know that we appreciate you. So whistle blows, and the official down there having a conversation with a couple of guys. I believe Devitt was in the middle of it, so is Zatawi. Long throw coming from MacCartney. MacCartney's arms are there. And you know, Patrick, what happens after a Lionsbridge goal when somebody uses their head?
We get some free Chick-fil-A
Free
breakfast
chicken
coupons.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening at home, you're certainly missing out, because every time a Lionsbridge player scores, not every time, but every game, there's a Lionsbridge goal by use of the header, one of the most exciting plays in soccer. You're going home victorious with a coupon for a free breakfast sandwich at Chick-fil-A. Hit up your local Chick-fil-A in Hampton, Newport News, or Yorktown. for breakfast between the hours of 6 and 10:30 every day but Sunday. And remember to eat more chicken. Here goes Jalon Brown on the far side. Brown shoots, and the save is made by Holden Trent. Just poked that one away as a point-blank shot from Jalon Brown kind of startled him there.
Yeah, it was a great ball in behind from number 11, Brennen Burton. Jalon Brown opened up, had a nice shot, but the goalkeeper for the Dynamo was up to the task.
Great pass into number 8, Militar, and it gets ricocheted out. And this entire start to the second half has kind of been owned by the Bridge, as that foul is earned by Brennen Burton. The foul seems to be on Al-Mubaslat. No, instead, rather, maybe it was Del Valle. Look at it one more time. Not sure who it was. Nevertheless, a free kick coming from Brown and Militar. They'll have a conversation over the ball, waiting for their line to separate. About 28 meters away, according to the official, from the goal line. Everyone's sitting just shy of the 18. That ball goes up and it's into the wall. Now sent back, there's James Ellis. Ellis is going to have a go at it. Ball goes up and could have sworn Trent was out of play, but I guess he held the ball in. And that 50-50 ball turns out to be a little less than a 50-50 ball, and the foul called on this time was Al-Mubaslat. Jamie Gunderson goes down. And while Gunderson is on the ground, we want to remind you that Lionsbridge Sports Medicine uses frog skin wraps to treat soft tissue injuries. Frog Skin's advanced therapy products are available to everyone. Check them out at frog-skin.com to learn more. That's frog-skin.com to learn more. Ball up in the air, and nothing Burton could do for it. Is it just me, or do Brennen Burton, Ivan Militar, and Jalon Brown all kind of look the same?
I mean, maybe from the back or the side, but
when you see their faces, yeah, but
I've picked out their cleats.
That's where it is, the cleats.
Brennen Burton is wearing those nice blue Adidas cleats. Jalon Brown's got the highlighter orange Adidas cleats. And then Ivan Militar is going with the classic all-black cleats there.
All I'm saying is all three of them look relatively similar, so when you got that side profile, you can't quite see their numbers. You just got to go with the cleats. Burton in the blues, Militar in the blacks, and Jalon Brown got the fashion statement orange. Ball up, and almost a great ball to Burton, and a good hustle play from Militar to win the ball back for his team. Lionsbridge FC would like to recognize Canine Off-Leash Training for their support during the inaugural season. Canine Off-Leash Dog Training specializes in private lessons and dog training consultations. For more information, go to joshwilson.dog. Canine Off-Leash Training. Let the bond with your canine be unleashed. We're back to this possession game. Jalon Brown wins the ball, and now he's going to have to hustle. And now it's a 1-on-5, and a foul is finally called. I think they called a foul back.
Yeah, they played advantage. Jalon Brown with a brilliant first touch to beat the defender there, number 9, Cole Watkins. Just couldn't get away from him as Watkins started dragging him back, and he picks up the yellow card.
So yellow card on Watkins. Number 9, Cole Watkins, picks up a yellow here in the 55th minute. 56th minute, rather. So free kick coming. Militar up in the air. It's in the box. Goes off the head of Devitt and away.
Great ball in the box from Ivan Militar. Tom Devitt, the redhead assassin from defense, pushed up, got his head on it.
Okay.
But just flashed it over the bar. Well, you don't like the redhead assassin?
You know, I don't know about it. He's fiery, to say the least.
He's a fantastic defender.
I think Ellis rather, James Ellis, not to be confused with James Lee, wanted a handball there, and ball trickles beyond the painted white line after going off a Dynamo boot. So they'll maintain possession. After switching a ball out goes MacCartney for the throw. There's 3 or 4 different guys inside the box he could throw to. Looking for one of them and can't find any. There goes Ellis, and Ellis will give it back to MacCartney. MacCartney is just lofty with the ball, and it gets punched out by Trent. Holden Trent makes the stop, and everybody goes down. A clean tackle by Jalon Brown. And got to be a handball. This time the official's going to stop play, saying we can't get that going, Mr. Zatawi, just yet. Let me slow things down. And after all the confusion. The Dynamo get it back. And Austin Graham just going to throw his foot up in the air, knock that one out of play, and we stay where we are. Ball thrown in by Fahrenholz. Fahrenholz tosses it to his boy Renback. Tater now. Back to Fahrenholz. Fahrenholz to the corner, and they say it goes off of Graham. And Joe Rice doesn't agree with it. Graham doesn't agree with it, but the stop will have to be made as the ball never lies, right? So you'd like to think that Fahrenholz's corner will be all for naught, and we'll see right now as he takes the shot in. It's low, and as it was, all for naught. Taken away, and now coming the other way is Militar, and then off the boot of number 6, that's Renback. Coming to the highlighter cleats of Brown. Brown back to Militar. And Militar setting things up, and they're just slowly but surely pressing onward. Coming over, I believe, is MacCartney. MacCartney with a quick throw in. He's not marked. Is Militar. Militar is kicking it out. And that ball now flies high. MacCartney, Militar. Militar puts it on. Trent Holden stops the ball. Ball up, and offsides the call from the assistant referee. At Embrace Home Loans, finding a mortgage designed just for you is precisely what we do. In fact, it's all we do. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance an existing mortgage, or consolidate high-interest debt, look no further than Embrace. Embrace Home Loans is a proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. Embrace Home Loans. Free kick taken by Rice, and now Brown ends up with it after a little bit of a scuffle as no one ends up with a 50-50 ball. That shot on goes off the crossbar, and it was all for no reason as the foul ends up being called, and would have been a beautiful strike had it gone in, but it still wouldn't have mattered. And Militar walks away, and as he does, he gives the official as well as Jalon Brown a little piece of his mind. Brown's asking him to just take a deep breath. We're okay. 1-1 our score here, 2/3 of the way through the contest. Brown trying to get in a good stop, and Brady Gunner wanted the ball to keep going to his side but couldn't get it, and a quick throw in from Jalon Brown. Brown to Militar, now in and just wasn't there. It's Lee, and that shot is way out of play past the video board from Jamie Gunderson, and that is the epitome of the phrase, send it!
Yeah, that was a great ball in for Jalon Brown. Couldn't find James Ellis's head. The ball popped out for Jamie Gunderson. He had that nice strike earlier in the match. Thought he could replicate it, but that ball flies out of the stadium.
He just rockets that ball. There was no rhyme or reason. Just try to kick it as hard as you can and hope it's on target.
Hey, if it flies in, no keeper in the world saving it.
No way. But what are the odds it actually flies in? Beautiful night here in Newport News. Sun setting behind us, creating some beautiful skies in front of us on the campus of Newport News. Campus of Christopher Newport in Newport News, rather. Only one more home game left against the U23 squad of DC United. Ball into the box, and
there's going to be a free kick. He called it right outside the box.
Looked like for a moment I thought he was pointing at that PK spot, but a free kick given instead, in a dangerous moment for Lionsbridge. He's just about maybe about a meter, a yard, whatever you want to call it, whatever system you're using, off the 18, maybe half a yard. And he's definitely on the far side of the net. It's almost like an angled corner and ends up out of play for a goal kick.
Al-Mubasal picked the wrong option there. He decided to go for goal. Probably should have played it across the box.
Hey fans, you could win an official Lionsbridge FC backpack just like the players use, courtesy of All Pro Tactical. Go to lionsbridgefc.com/All Pro for your chance to win. All Pro Tactical, tactical technology, All Pro performance. Militar's played well today in the midfield, commanding possession and really enforcing his role there and kind of forcing his way into play. Ball is low, and it gets through James Ellis. Now up, and there's only two to beat. One of them the goalkeeper. And now it's an open goal, and now coming back, it's going to have to be a great play by Rice, and instead it was a great play by Gunderson, and he loses it out of play, and a free corner kick now.
Just a lack of concentration there by Joe Rice. He's lucky not to throw that ball into his own net. He was frustrated with himself.
Kind of frustrating moment there for him, and here comes the corner kick. Tried to smack it against his gloves, and thankfully it doesn't harm him or his team's chances of tying this one up, or I guess taking a lead rather. Is tried to smack it into his opposite glove, and it went out of play. So mental lapse there from Rice in the cage after he got some help from his back line, and this one remains 1-1 here in the 67th minute. Now another goal kick. Hey kids, be sure to pick up your Lionsbridge FC team poster at our next and final home game against DC United U23 to be signed at the post-game autograph session, sponsored by Mosquito Joe, a proud sponsor and partner of the defensive play of the game here at Lionsbridge FC. Mosquito Joe, man.
Great challenge.
And they'll call the foul, and looks like he's reaching for a card. And he's instead pointing at him, saying, "No more of that. You can't be doing that, especially over by the track. That's dangerous." All about player safety here. Parents, apply frog skin wraps before you ice your child's injury. It's safer than plain ice, super soft, and eases pain and speeds recovery. We're proud to provide our elite Lionsbridge players with frog skin products. For more info, check out frog-skin.com. That's frog-skin.com. Ball up in the air. Joe Rice is looking for it, and he secures the ball before falling to the ground. Rice has taken a couple of beatings tonight. He's going to get that ball. I believe he was offsides, and he was.
Yeah, Jalen Brown just went a little too early. He saw it.
No contest.
So did Joe Rice.
He certainly knew it was offsides, too. He put his hand up like, yep, that was me, wasn't it? And it most certainly was.
Oh, good. You got to move on now. A lot of game left here. Still 20 minutes to find a winner for either one of these teams. And if it's Lionsbridge who does find the winner, this crowd is going to go ballistic.
Lionsbridge has one more game in the PDL. It's going to be a road game next Friday night, I believe, against Tobacco Road. Good cut up the field from Jalen Brown. He gives it up. Now coming to the near side on the end, it's number 8, Militar. Militar puts it up, gets through everybody, and then cleared for a moment before Simon Fitch finds it. Fitch kicks it off the guys, and a counterattack was there for a moment before Tom Devitt stopped things, and now coming back the other way are the Bridge. Got to be a foul. No, it's not called. Then finally there, the advantage given.
We'll see Lionsbridge's second substitution. I don't know if they're going to do it before this free kick or not.
It looks like the Haitian sensation Cleef Desir.
He hasn't been here the past couple games. See what he can do tonight. I'm excited to see him.
We said at halftime we thought it was going to be the reserves that make the biggest difference, and Tennant McVea certainly was that early. And so coming off is number 11, Brennen Burton. And coming on is number 13, Cleef Desir. So it is Desir.
It was a solid performance tonight from Brennen Burton. Unlucky not to get that rebound goal in the first half. But He's off now, and in comes the Haitian sensation.
That ball up. Tennant McVea gets his head on it and puts it out of play. McVea wanted a foul. He's not going to get it. Tennant McVea. Unfortunate.
He's been solid ever since he came in at halftime. He's attacked every 50-50 ball. It really put a spark into this Lionsbridge team that they were missing in the first half.
Lionsbridge FC would like to recognize and thank Parkway Print Shop for their partnership and support during the inaugural 2018 season. For all your printing, apparel, and merchandise needs, check out Parkway Print Shop. Parkway Print Shop, an official partner of Lionsbridge FC. Driving and clearing. Where's the defensive group? Ball thrown in and now deep in the corner, trying to earn themselves a corner kick, I would assume. Now a ball in, an opportunity on net, and it's taken away there by the defense. There goes Desir, and Desir's got fresh legs. And they're going to win the ball, and not sure if it's a throw-in or a free kick. Appears to be a free kick. And you know, reasoning behind that one is pretty clear from the opposite side. Desir, fresh legs. He gets away from him, and it's a one-on-one with him and the keeper. It's almost like a Chick-fil-A goal dash like we watch at halftime. It's just one-on-one. Except for there's a goalie at the other end, but I digress.
Hey, that Chick-fil-A goal dash was very entertaining today. I'm not going to lie.
Was that ball up. There goes Jalen Brown. Brown gets his head on it, and Holden Trent has to make the save.
Unlucky there. Jalen Brown tried to find a looping header over the goalkeeper, but he was ready. He was aware. He came up with a save.
Certainly doesn't feel like a one-to-one game. Ball off the foot of Devitt, and a foul is called after every whistle. And Militar is going to get it pulled back.
Yeah, he was about 10 yards in front.
Not the worst thing in the world. There wasn't anybody there for Jalen Brown, so they'll get a chance to redo. And NG Cooper, in the most sportsmanlike fashion, kicks that loose ball back into the middle of the field, because that makes sense.
You got to waste time.
Coming down to the final 15 minutes in this one. There's a sense of urgency on the field, as if both teams feel like they're losing. Am I wrong? I mean, it certainly feels like both teams are really pushing for that second goal to a point where if they don't get it, they're going to be disappointed with the outcome.
I mean, you could say that, but at this point, what do you got to lose? As we see James Ellis check out for number 20, James Lee. See if James Lee can have an instant impact, just like our center back that came on at halftime, Tennant McVea.
So one James in for the other. James Lee for James Ellis. So I have McVea, Desir, and Lee on the midfield. There goes Simon Fitch. Fitch now on the 18. Fitch is going to give it up to Militar. Militar now has got 3 to beat. And Desir was right there before Holden Trent scoops it up. And advantage being played, and you got to think that Gunderson is going to get a card for that as he steamrolled the defender there.
Yeah, Jamie Gunderson has been going at number 5, Alex Hernandez, all night.
He's still on the ground, and we're going to wait, obviously, for this ball to get cleared. It's still in bounds.
But definitely, he will be called back. He'll probably pick up that yellow card because Like we said, he's had a
That
couple
was-
opportunities
that
to
was-
take out Alex Hernandez and has done well.
Hernandez now coming back the other way. And because of the elongated play, it looks like nothing's going to be called. And I think that might be because Hernandez ultimately got up. If he had stayed down, I think play would have stopped, and I think the official might have also stopped and given the card. But because Hernandez got up,
No, we'll probably see it. We just got to wait for the ball to go out, or there's a stoppage in play. That's usually what happens with the referees. They're not going to forget about it.
there
As
you
we
go.
see-
There's your ball out of play. Where is it?
He's going to stop it.
And
Here we go. Yellow card
There
for
it is.
Jamie Gunderson.
You saw that one coming a mile away. I'm not surprised by it, not shocked. I don't think Gunderson was either, as he got up almost right away and he knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, like we said earlier, him and number 5 from Carolina have been going at it all night. It's been fun to watch, I'm not even going to lie, but Jamie Gunderson's first to be booked here out of the two of them.
All up. James Lee had a chance at it, and now Austin Graham will have to go back and get it. Ball thrown back to Joe Rice. Rice up to the midfield with Lee, and now to Simon Fitch. Fitch finds his man, and Lee is right there. Lee has an opportunity. Lee gets pushed, and good defense there, but a handball is called. No, they're going to call the foul on Lee.
Unlucky there. Jalen Brown slips James Lee in really well. James Lee takes a touch inside. He probably shouldn't have done that. But with all due respect, a solid opportunity there for the Bridge. Just couldn't make the most out of it.
Looking at it one more time, I'm not surprised that they called it against Lee, and I think he knows the same. A little bit of a push after he lost possession of the ball, and the frustration kind of built there and caused the foul. Lee, though, with a great tackle, gets it back, and they switch sides to go to Militar and Desir, and that ball gets cleared as the defense is starting to feel the pressure here with just under 70 minutes, and a couple of subs will come in, and as they do, we want to remind you to follow the PDL on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for league news, interactive content, live games, and featured content. Also want to remind you that Select is the official ball sponsor and proud partner of the PDL, and see the latest product line from Select at selectsportamerica.com. Capelli is a proud sponsor of the PDL. Follow at Capelli Sport on Twitter for all the latest Capelli Sport information. I'm not sure who those subs were, waiting for.
I got them for you. So we have number 11, Sam Orisatoki out for number 2, Omar Al-Hamwi.
Ball up, goes off the head of Desir and out of play, so 11 for 2.
And then we had Njai Cooper come off for number 27, Brian White.
And 8 for 27, so NG Cooper is off. Brian White is on. Number did you say Brian White was 27?
Yep.
And Omar Al-Hamwi, number 2, in for number 11, Sam Orisatoki. In the 80th minute of the contest now. And as time runs out on this one, I believe time is also running out to sign up for Lionsbridge Youth Summer Camps if they haven't closed already, and they very well might have as camps start on Monday. The final camp of the year starts on Monday. You can go to lionsbridgefc.com/camps to see if there's still spots open. Again, I'm not 100% sure if they're still open or not, but you might want to check out, as if they haven't closed yet, they certainly will be closing soon. Fans sounding a little restless here, getting frustrated with the team's play. After scoring about 35 minutes ago, haven't put anything in the net since. Here comes a chance and a slide, and no foul called. They'll just have to get up and keep playing. It was just unfortunate after the aftermath of a good tackle from the defense. Now coming the other way are the Dynamo on the counterattack. They're on the near side, far side. Inside now, the 18, a shot on, and Rice will have to dive and make the save, but he does just that.
A great little 1-2 there for Alex Hernandez and number 10, Marshal Fahrenholz. Alex Hernandez got the ball back, had a nice little shot, look on goal, but the shot goes right to Joe Rice.
Tonight has been a defensive game at that advantage going to be played as James Lee gives it up to Jalon Brown. And the advantage has been played, and so whatever happens, happens here. Jalon Brown continues to fight, and that ball goes off of Brown ultimately for the goal kick.
Unlucky from Brown. There's 1v3. He had no help in behind. Tried to beat all three of them. Got past two, but that third one just ended up clearing the ball off of him out for a goal kick.
Free kick up, and away. Headed by Gunderson. Back towards Del Valle. Now on the opposite side near the benches, that ball chipped up. Stop for a moment. Desir tries to get there. Desir continues to try to get there, throws his hands up. Can't quite get possession, and now it's back in the Dynamo ball. Good stop by Gunderson as he trips up and has to go the other way. It's a 3-on-3, now a 3-on-5 as they got two more trailing. Lee communicating with the outside. That ball shot on, and Rice doesn't put his paws on it, and so it's a goal kick for Joe Rice. He'll take it quickly with 7 minutes and extra time to go.
Unlucky there by Alex Hernandez. Had the beating of Jamie Gunderson that time. Probably should have picked his head up. He had number 4, Almond Basalt, on the back post, but decided to go for goal himself.
Joe Rice with the line drive. About 75% of the way to the opposite goal line, and Desir gets tripped up and it gets cleared, and just keep pushing forward. A great header forward from Devitt, won by Fitch. Now coming is Graham. Graham stops it and tries to earn a corner. Instead he gets tripped up. James Lee now. James Lee goes down, then comes back up, sends it in. Cross gets cleared. Now Fitch.
Unlucky there by Fitch. He ends up slipping, and that ball just slides right out of bounds. And we'll see another Lionsbridge sub here as number 10, Aladdin Elfares, will be checking in for number 8, Ivan Militar. So Elfares will have about 5 minutes plus stoppage time left.
So number 10 into the contest here. And Elfares, I believe, plays with Desir at school. I don't remember where it is they go, and I don't have my sheet up in front of me, but I believe they go together. And so that commonality might be helpful for Desir. Gotta be a foul, might be a card. Fitch will walk away, he's not happy with himself. The official not happy with him either, we'll go have a conversation. James Lee pats his back, and doesn't sound like the Dynamo have any time to wait, and so they just go for it anyway. Good one touch there from the Dynamo forward, Zatawi. Gives it up to his man. Jalon Brown's wondering why that's the case, and we'll have another sub. I think this might be it. We might have one more available after this one. And coming off is number, is that 21 or 11? I can't tell. I think it's
That's
21.
And then Parker Washburn is checking in, number 26.
Parker Washburn on for the rest of this one.
Another solid performance here by Marshal MacCartney at the center defensive mid spot. Unfortunate he couldn't finish out the night here.
Another foul there, this time on Washburn, who recently entered the game.
Lionsbridge need to be careful here. One of these free kicks might be an excellent delivery.
Now Omar Alhamwi with a free kick about 35-40 away from the net. Ball is up. Rice is going to take it.
As we get a sub for the Carolina Dynamo, number 5, Alex Hernandez will be checking out for number 15, Christian Thomas.
So Thomas, the third sub of the day for the visiting Dynamo, and our paid attendance tonight, 1,354 here at the stadium. 1,300 people here for Lionsbridge FC soccer. And we've had pretty good show-outs each night here. We've had a home game, and these crowds have not disappointed. Certainly larger by tenfold than any of the away crowds. I was talking to Joe Rice after the last game before our interview, and said, yeah, well, the away games are certainly not as fun. We play against smaller crowds, maybe 50. As there goes James Lee. Lee picks it up and has an opportunity to win it. That shot from Lee is high.
Unlucky from James Lee there. He gets in behind. The goalkeeper is caught in no man's land, but the official first touch by James Lee took him too far wide. He couldn't get back and get his shot on target, unluckily for him. And the rest of the pride here tonight. Great ball there. Here's Jamie Gunderson.
Gunderson stops, gives up to Brown.
A bad first touch by Jalon Brown there. Really unlucky.
And James Lee not called off sides.
He probably could have brought that ball down. He was looking across the goal for Aladdin, Elfares, and Jalon Brown. Should have been a little more selfish there. As now Cleef Desir will take the long throw in.
Crowd rumbles. Volley's Army getting into it. The throw from the Haitian sensation is short and out of play. Two minutes of stoppage time in this one, so that's about all we have left. Scooped up by Rice.
You can see a quick counterattack here as James Lee gallops forward, looking for some help. Finds Elfares. Elfares just wanted too much time on the ball there. As he loses it out of play.
And official gives it back to the bridge. So Graham will throw it in. Graham gives it up to Jalon Brown. Brown's got a good first touch. He gives it up and Elfares has to race. Not going to get there in time. And that's going to be the whistle here, and the final score in this one, 1-1. Lionsbridge FC picks up another point, and they hold on to their spot as the third team in the South Atlantic Division. Stick around for post-game interviews with assistant coach Tennant McVea and head coach Chris Wally. After this one, we'll start wrapping this one up here, though, for now. And Patrick, thoughts on this contest?
It was a really good performance from the Carolina Dynamo. They came out, pressured Lionsbridge really early, got that goal in about the 30th minute, if I remember correctly. Put Lionsbridge on their toes. Lionsbridge came out after halftime really well, got that early goal. But outside of that, not much spark going forward for the Bridge. But nonetheless, a very solid game from both teams.
So with just one game left in their PDL season, all they need is a win against Tobacco Road FC to secure their spot in the top half of the division, the South Atlantic Division. They've certainly played lights out this year with another win or another set of points at home, and they'll have one more home game here on Sunday, July 15th, and that'll wrap up their season against DC United U23. We'll step away for a short moment. We want to give a great shout out to all of you at home watching each and every night. Thank you so much for doing so, as you give us a reason to do this, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Certainly thanks to Mike Santamoro and Julian Santamoro for bringing us production and replays, as well as Austin and Christian Urch killing the game on camera, as well as Austin Gregory and the rest of the production crew on video board. As for Patrick Garber by my side, I'm Rob Smith saying one more time, final score in this one, 1-1, in front of a crowd of just about 1,300 at Pomoco Stadium on a firework night. We'll step away for a little bit, and if I don't see you for the post-game interviews, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Test, test. How you doing, Coach? Here, post-game with Chris Wally. We'll start overall thoughts on the performance.
Didn't play very well in the first half. Second half a lot better. Yeah.
Just overall better in the second half. We'll talk about the goal from Tennant early in the second half. We'll talk to him in a second, but that was a pretty impressive goal off the head from the feed from Militar.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Evan. I played against Tennant years ago, and I realised what a great play was. And when I knew I had a chance to work with him, I was really, really excited. It's disappointing he's been hurt, but he's a top player, a great person. I'm really, really pleased for him. Yeah.
What do you think that means for Tennant to be able to finally get into action after being hurt?
I think he's been very frustrated. He's a top player, as everyone's seen tonight, and he brings a lot of leadership. He's a massive presence for us. So with that being said, I think it's great for him, and I think it shows as long as you keep working at something and you're fit and you want to play soccer, you can play till you're quite old. I'm not going to say how old he is, but he's doing well.
And last but not least, first-year franchise. Team's been playing overall really well this year. What are your thoughts on this team, in its first season and being at the helm in its first year as a franchise?
Well, I've been very proud to be the coach of this team, really proud of the group, really proud of supporters. I think we'll probably finish third in the league, hopefully, which is first-year franchise. It's big time. But I want to be a big shout-out to the fans. They've been unbelievable all season long. Brilliant again tonight. Come back and see us next Sunday, and come back and see us next year. We'll be bigger and better, I promise.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks so much. Enjoy the fireworks. So wait for Tennant. Tennant McVea, the goal scorer tonight. Give it up for Tennant. Great goal. All right, so first and foremost, how's it feel finally back on the field?
Amazing. It's been a tough season that way. I thought I was going to get a lot more games, but obviously being hurt, it was tough. But it's been great to be a part of this group every day, working hard, and just to have an opportunity to step here, in front of the fans and get one. It's great. So excited and just pleased that I had the opportunity to do this tonight.
And you just talked about getting one. Talk about that goal. Walk us through the scoring opportunity.
Well, obviously we've got great delivery. Ivan, Marshal on the throw-ins. So I knew I was going to get something. I just needed to go and put my head on it. So it's something we work on all the time. And I was just in the right place in the right time and was able to knot it in.
And one of these things these fans love to chant is "We want chicken." Scoring on a header is a big deal around here. How does it feel to provide for these fans finally wanting that chicken biscuit?
Hey, is everyone happy? You get chicken? Then I'm happy.
And then last but certainly not least, you've had a different experience, coaching, playing, doing a little bit of everything here at Lionsbridge. What's your season been like?
Special. The community has really got around this group. If you had to ask me 6 months ago, we'd be filling this stand with this many passionate soccer fans, I'd have called you a liar. But a credit to our backroom staff, the owners, the volunteers, the people that come out here every week and pay their good money to come and see guys from the local community play soccer. It's something that's just amazing to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it in the future, and so is the rest of the staff.
Appreciate it, Tennant. Thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the way. That's going to do it for us here at Lionsbridge FC, Facebook Live, and the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in at home. As for the fans here at the stadium, you guys ready for fireworks? All right, so that's going to do it for us here. Thanks for tuning in, and if I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.